So this actually leads us to the room Sherry was just in. Bowgun bolts. That should be enough, actually. I probably won't need the pistol now. Grenade rounds. Well, that guy seemed okay. Seemed very chill. And in the interest of saving time, we're not actually going to put the pistol away. The handgun, the revolver. There's a map here. In Scenario A, this is actually the first map you get that might have some use, because you've got it early enough in the area. That sound is spiders. I think because the cleaner model quality in the Dreamcast version, they look more intimidating here than they do in the PS1 or GameCube version. Well, if anybody's acrophobic, I hope that didn't bother you too much. Oh, hello.
Who are you? Oh, I see. Another spy sent by Umbrella, right? Let me guess. You're here to steal my husband's G-virus, aren't you? You are tenacious, I'll give you that.
Husband? Then you must be Annette. Sherry's mother?
What?
Sherry's wandering around alone in the sewers. You have to help me find her.
That's impossible. I told her to go to the police station. What's she doing here?
You told her to go to the police station, but you know exactly what the police chief is like.
The creature that's been causing all this...
Particularly since you're the one that dealt with him. This is Annette Birkin. The person the chief was instructed to deal with. Relating him matters related with Umbrella.
It's sheer perfection. My precious G-virus. No one will ever take you away from me.
No one will ever take you away from me. I look forward to living my life. Free of being shot multiple times.
Doctor,
with the precious G-virus. Like, seriously, could you jinx that any harder?
hand over my life's work.
Stop. You might hit the sample. That's it, all right. Okay, let's move out.
And so this explains where the,
William,
who the monster is,
hold on, darling.
where it came from,
First, stay here.
and where the T-virus outbreak came from.
Alpha team, have you retrieved the sample yet?
Affirmative. We'll be at the rendezvous point in 1 minute.
Roger.
Are you telling me that he injected the G-virus into his own body?
The G-virus has the ability to revitalize cellular functions.
And then he became a monster. So this is actually the sewer we just ran through. One thing I do like about the FMVs in this game, they reflect the areas they're supposed to be happening in perfectly.
Hurry!
So if you pay attention to the environments here, you can tell exactly where this is.
What?
And so he's consuming more of the G-virus, which is
Fire!
kind of weird. I'm not entirely sure why.
Son of a...
There's also an interesting case here with the, like, the eye is present. He has claws out. And so far, this takes place before the entire game. But so far, what we've seen of him,
So those
he doesn't have the claws yet, and if you... in scenario B, the first boss, rather than being the monster that ripped out the chief, the first boss is William Birkin himself as the monster, and he looks more human than he did there, and it's kind of weird, doesn't really make much sense.
And that's not even the entire story. Every G-virus
I'm probably going to bring that up again when we get to it in scenario B.
has the ability to implant embryos into other life forms. That's why he's after Sherry.
What are you trying to say?
The bodies of individuals with non-related genetic coding are likely to reject the embryo. But since Sherry is his daughter, that possibility is non-existent. It's an inherent survival instinct.
It's Sherry. You go that way.
So, the G-Virus, the ultimate bioweapon, reproduces via embryo implantation that only works with specimens that have compatible DNA. Which essentially, while the G-Virus is very powerful, and the monsters created by the G-Virus take so much damage to actually put down, it means the infection rate is actually incredibly low. Okay, I'll grab these two, definitely. I'm probably going to want to end up combining them just so I have space. Not putting the pistol away was a mistake. I'm going to have to go back to the box. God damn it. I don't have the space. I mean, it's not even about not putting the pistol away. Not going back to the box to put the grenade rounds away was a bad idea as well. Also, random giant alligator. So there are two things you can do here. I have a lot of pistol ammo, so I'm not going to try and burn through it. You can shoot the alligator, and eventually, if you do enough damage, it'll run away. Or you can drop that canister on the floor, wait, and then that'll happen. And it's done. That's another zapping mechanic thing. If you shoot it until it runs away, you'll have to fight it again in the second scenario. It's the only way to avoid going back to the box, which is going to be a waste of time.
Come on, wake up, Sherry.
That's weird. So, Birkin implanted the embryo in the Chief. The embryo rejected the Chief's DNA, ripped its way through, and became its own monster, which was very clearly deformed. But with Sherry, my assumption was always that the embryo bonds with DNA. But there it looked like it just kind of did what it needed to do and then left, I guess would be the word. Would be the best way to put it. Which is weird. So Sherry's just crouched down there, which isn't a problem because we have to go back that way anyway, but it's irritating that she'll just do that. Oh, she got caught in the environment, it's not your fault. Sewer Manager's Diary, June 28th. It's been a while, but I talked to Don today, and we talked after completing our work. He told me that he'd been sick in bed until yesterday. Really doesn't come as much of a surprise given how long he's been working here. He was sweating like a horse and kept scratching his body while we were talking. I asked if he was hot, but he just looked at me funny. What's wrong with him anyway? June 7th. Chief Irons has been visiting the lab quite often lately. I don't know what he's doing over there, but he always looks grim. The expression on his face has been even more unsettling than usual. My guess is because of Dr. Birkin's impossible requests. The Chief has my sympathies, though. After all he's done for the town, he doesn't deserve this. June 21st. I rarely drink on the graveyard. I rarely drink because I'm on the graveyard shift, but I don't suppose I have much to complain about since this is how I make my living. August 16th. Chief Irons came in late today looking grimmer than his usual self. I tried to joke with him to cheer him up, but he wasn't amused. He pulled his gun and threatened to shoot me. I was able to calm him down, but that guy must have some serious problems. He knows he can't enter the lab without my help and medal. This is what it means for the Chief to serve and protect. August 21st. William informed me that the police and media have begun their investigation into Umbrella's affairs. He said that the investigation will be city-wide and there's a possibility they'll even search through the sewers. He asked me to suspend all Umbrella's sewer facility operation until the investigation is concluded. The sewer will still be used for passage, but he stressed that I have to be extremely cautious and that I'd lose my job if anyone finds out about this operation. Alright, come on, Sherry. Sherry. Oh, for the love of God, Sherry. Unbelievable. It's one of the things there, dealing with Sherry like this, is one of the things that makes me really prefer Claire B to Claire A. It's a couple of things. You don't have Sherry following you. Oh, thank God. I thought we would have had to go and get Sherry again since she started turning away for no reason. Sherry isn't with you at this point in Scenario B. And you rejoin her later. Yeah, I'll take flame rounds. She rejoins you later, which means you don't have to deal with her here, which is really good. And beyond that, you end up with more ammo in Scenario B, which I find more fun to mess around with. I mean, mess around isn't the right term. Don't have to worry as much. Alright, come on, Sherry. No dawdling here. There are spiders. Okay, come on, be in the right position. I'm not in the right position, goddammit. Right position, come on. There we go. Wolf. Eagle. Awesome. Let's go. So that bank happens whenever you come through here. On Claire A, Leon B, Leon A, Claire B. Always happens. I have no idea what it actually is. I don't get why it happens. Come on, Sherry. Press the button. Turn the tram on. Let's go. I've got room for the weapons key. I don't have room for the spark shot. Which, I suppose, is kind of a shame. The spark shot is a decent little weapon to deal with zombies. Okay. To find this, you're actually supposed to use the lighter on this thing here. A flare gun needs something to ignite it. You need the lighter, and it shoots a flare off, and the key sparkles in the light. That's how you're supposed to find it. But if you know it's there, you can just do it. Just pick it up. Alright, come on, Sherry. Since we're not going for the spark shot, we don't need to go down there. Means we'll get through these corridors really quick. So yeah, once you get out of the police station, you actually find yourself kind of blasting through these other areas. Particularly between the police station and the lab. Okay, I'll pick that one up. Sherry. There we go. The bow gun, as far as actual use of it goes, you want to use it kind of like the shotgun, in that you want to be close to the zombies. But don't aim up, because you'll get nothing out of that. Alright, let's throw this down. You can go, we're not going to use you again. You can go away for the minute. Put you away. Put you away, I don't need you ever again. Put this away for now. Yeah, that's all we need right now. Pick those up and then I'll combine the flame rounds with the grenade launcher. It'll save me having to combine them twice. Because, like, if I combine the flame rounds with a grenade launcher and then pick up more flame rounds, the flame rounds will just go straight into the inventory and I'll have to combine them with a grenade launcher again. Alright, handgun bullets back there, we don't need them. We don't need them. There's a map there of the factory, which we don't need because it's a really small area and we're not going to gain anything out of it. Quickly before she crouches. Awesome. Okay, now check the toilet. Nothing there. There usually is something. Oh, here we go, the flame rounds. This is good because of all the grenade ammo I want for the rest of the game, the grenade rounds are the primary type that I want. We head back out. Okay. Use the key. Push the switch. Like one of the only times Umbrella actually follows standard safety procedures. Because we're not actually going to drive out on the train. This is a big elevator. And so the big blaring alarm is a standard safety procedure to let you know it's about to go down. So, you know, get ready for that.
Claire, my stomach hurts. Hang in there, Sherry. Your forehead's burning up. I've got to hurry before the embryos pupate.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. Well, let's go deal with it. Security panel. In case of an emergency, the red light will turn on and access from the outside will be prohibited for a limited time. So this is the standard Resident Evil thing of, there's a boss battle here, you cannot leave this area until the boss is dead. Yeah. Alright, let's go. Oh wow, geez, you didn't have to throw that. The way that Birkin's character model transforms in-engine is really impressive to me. Particularly considering this is PS1 tech. We're playing it on Dreamcast, but this is a PS1 game. And like, the PS1 was a very limited system, and actually seeing it do this is amazing. So flame rounds do the most damage, and more than that, the flame rounds also stun him with every hit, which is good because it gives you time to move if you need to. And you might think, so far we've not actually been hit enough to go into caution. And while I did use a double herb earlier, that was mostly to clear the inventory, not because I was in caution.
Sherry.
And you might also think, oh, so far you've not taken any damage from bosses either. And it's like, that's going to change with the final boss. The final boss of Scenario 8 is the only boss I'm inconsistent with. And the only one that really worries me. And essentially, when I'm picking up healing items in Scenario 8, it's all in preparation for the final boss, so that I can really just outlast it.
Claire? Oh, you're finally awake. Isn't this... That's okay. You keep it. I'm sure it'll keep you safe. Thank you, Claire.
So now Sherry's wearing Claire's vest, and Claire's vest has also shrunk to fit Sherry.
Neither of my parents ever spent much time with me because of their work. I grew up alone, but now that you're with me, I finally have someone to rely upon.
Sherry. Rest here for a bit. I'll be right back, as soon as I found the antidote for you.
Alright, so now we're in Umbrella's lab. And this is the final stretch. Let's see. Flame rounds, gonna want those. There's acid rounds on the table there. Let's see, combine. Actually equip. And I think for the most part we can just stay like this with this loadout. Okay, if I don't really take any damage on the way down, should be able to take the final boss just fine. But yeah, now we should be able to just make the grenade launcher our primary weapon. There is going to be a point where I'll pull out the bow gun again, just because there's one room full of zombies, and it's a really good place to use it rather than the grenade launcher. But like that'll be kind of it. And also because that one room is a dead end that we need to go into to get an item, and it's also very close to an item box that we pass on the way anyway. So the fog here is another different visual effect in the Dreamcast version. In the PS1 and GameCube versions, the fog is somewhat paler and more transparent. don't know why, but I always like staying silent for that. Probably because it's weird that the entire thing stops so they can show off this 3D animation they've done. Just for that. It's very Dino Crisis, actually, because Dino Crisis had a big thing with its puzzles making a lot of use of 3D moving objects. We use that here, turn the power on. There we go. And we're off.